My name is Pedro Yarzabal, and I work at the Human Rights Institute here at University of Deusto, and it's a great pleasure to introduce Arkaitz Fullaondo. He's a PhD in sociology and a researcher at the Observatorio of Inmigración into the Basque Country. As a professor of sociology and social work at the Basque University, and is going to present a talk on migrants, diversity, demands, and social perception of diversity in the Basque Country. And I think it is a great complement or a great strategy to present both sides of the same coin, from a legal aspect and a more social aspect of diversity migration. So the floor is yours.
Okay, do you hear me? Yeah? Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this presentation. I think this workshop is really interesting, and thank you also for your presentation, because I think it has been a good starting point to analyze the diversity. And I say that because I'm going to present some data and some reflections about the diversity in the Basque Country, because I think in Basque Country we don't used to speak about diversity, we used to speak about immigration. And I think we have to start speaking about diversity. I think it's really important. So I will try to show you some data about what is the reality right now about immigration in the Basque Country, what are the attitudes and perceptions toward the immigration phenomenon, and what are the migrant diversity demands. The organizers asked me about this last point, and I was thinking, okay, diversity demands, this is really big, and in the observatory we didn't make any research about what are the demands of the diversity. So I think, okay, I'm going to speak about remarks and reflections about the different issues that I think, and we think in the observatory, that are coming on, and I think will be important in the diversity agenda, policy agenda in Basque Country, and also in Spain. So. Diversity and immigration phenomenon, the people think it is like a bit a strange situation right now in the perception of the Basque society. The people think that now there is like a big, massive migrants return to their origin countries because of the crisis, but in the same time, the people think that they are coming because of welfare state. So we can see this attitude in the media, in the debates, in the society, no? So we can say that yes, there is a return of some origins, but not all the origin, not all the immigrants collective, not all the immigrants group. I think people, immigrants from Eastern Europe, probably there is a return. People from Latin America, probably there is a return, but people from Asia and from Africa, they are not going on returning to their country, and there are many reasons of that. First of all, Latin America, this is a collective that they have a better legal situation. Most of them have already a Spanish nationality, and this situation makes a possibility to go, and also the situation that Latin America and some countries are improving their economic situation, it makes possible to go to the origin country and probably come back to Spain. And Eastern Europe, if you take the bus, you are in Romania in 24 hours. And also you are in Europe. So, but it's not happening the same with Africa, with Maghreb, where the situation is really dramatic still, and from Asia, that the logic probably are different. So in this, perfect. here the people think in Basque Country that there is a lot of immigration, but if we compare with different communities, autonomous communities, in Basque Country, and right now is the 6.8% of population is foreigner, and in Spain this percentage is the 11.7. So we are in this part. So there are many regions in Spain that they have a bigger percentage of foreign people in the society. But the perception in Basque Country, and later we will see, is quite funny. The people think that the percentage is quite bigger. In this year, 2013, it has happened something that we were expecting, that the immigration goes down. The crisis started at 2008, but we see how the foreign people was increasing here, and I remember when we did some presentations and research about immigration in 2012. We cannot explain why the immigration was growing, but the crisis was growing, but the unemployment rate was growing, so it was a little bit like, okay, but right now we see how, because the crisis arrived to Basque Country later comparing with Spain, because we will see later how the origin of migrants to Basque Country have changed. Many of them arrive from the other part of the Spain, not from their origin countries. So in Spain, it has been like an idea, and it's an idea that has some reasons, that the Basque Country situation was better. The welfare state was better, and also unemployment rate is quite lower. No? So this work like attraction factor to the Basque Country, and it works. It works. But right now the crisis is quite hard also in Basque Country. So now we see how the foreign population is lower. But we have a problem with this data. Is and later I will show you a figure. Is the impact of nationalizations. People from Latin America, most of them, after to stay in Spain 2 years in a regular way, in a legal way, they can ask for the Spanish nationality. And most of them, this process, it takes like 3 years more, 3-4 years or more years. No, but I mean, most of these immigrants that they arrived in 2005, 2006. Most of them they are taking the Spanish nationality, mainly from Latin America, and they are not anymore like a foreigner in data. They are like nationals. Mm-hmm. So the people think that no, the immigration is going down. Yes, but no many as we think. And in this here we can see the interannual evolution of foreign people in Basque Country. We can see how immigration is economic immigration. When economy was going down, the immigration was going down. When economy is going up, is growing. And when economy is going down, the immigration is going down. And this 2012, that was a bit complicated to explain, but. And you can see how, if we analyze, foreign immigrants, they come from 2009, almost 40% arrive from the other part of the state, of Spain. And in 2010, 2011, almost the half of the immigrants arrive from other parts of the Spain, not from Latin America, Eastern Europe, and it is really important change in dynamics, because the diversity is different. I mean, the problem is not that a guy from Pakistan that arrived to San Sebastian. Probably you have a guy from Pakistan that has been 12 years living in Barcelona and comes to San Sebastian. So how to manage this diversity, how to manage this reality is different. And this is the impact of nationalization. This is just the people that is resident, and this is we calculate the people that is resident but that is nationalized, and we see that probably the real percentage of foreign people in Basque Country in 2012 is 7.8 and not this 6.9. Okay. And okay, here we can see the differences of in the sex distribution of different region nationalities, and we can see here how there are some Latin America mainly are women, and how from Africa mainly are men's, and okay, and also from Asia mainly and men's and no less women. They are just the figures, and this figure is important because another big change in migration flows toward Basque Country has been the origin. In the beginning, this is the migration balance evolution by regional nationalities. We can see how the Latin American group was the main group, but we can see how this is changing. Nowadays, people from Maghreb and people from Africa represent the 37% of migrants balance, positive balance, and Latin America only 28%. And Asia is also another big group. Here we have to say that it's people from Pakistan that is arriving in the last 3 years to Basque Country, and mainly from other parts of the state. So we can see how the diversity in Basque Country is changing really fast, because it's not the same how to manage a diversity, ethnic diversity, where the Latin ethnic groups are, or Latin immigrants group are the main groups, or to analyze where or to manage this diversity where people from Maghreb or from Asia with really different cultures, religious and languages backgrounds are in our society. And this we will see later in the attitude. I think there is a big relationship, because another consequence of the crisis with the diversity, I think this is I think that now with the crisis we are conscious that we have a diversity right now. Now the society is conscious that the Basque society and also Spanish society is diverse. Before the crisis, I think the people have a kind of naive opinion about the diversity. You see, oh, multicultural is nice, there is people from other parts, they come here to work, there's no problem, there's job, and this we will see in the attitudes how it's changing. But now with the crisis, now where the resources are going down, labor market or welfare state, now the people say, oh, okay, probably this situation now is different. And some data from 2010 unemployment rates, I think this is really, really important. Labor market and the employment is the main way for the people to get economic resources. But we can see how the groups, collective from Africa have huge unemployment rates. Maghreb, 51% of unemployment rate, and Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, almost 60% of unemployment rate. And we can see how the groups from Latin America is different. Why? This is the main explanation is that the labor market in Basque Country is good for the service sectors, mainly for those people that works in the homes and the cares, and mainly is a woman from Latin America who has this job. So, but here we can see, and this is a big challenge for the social cohesion in the future, because as we see here, the groups that are coming are from Africa, but the groups that have more problems to get job in our labor market are those groups. So I think it's really important this situation, and this is the unemployment rate by years of residence. And here we can see how there is quite a relationship between those immigrants that resident more years in Basque Country, then unemployment rate goes down. So in a way, the labor until 2010, in a way, the labor market in Basque Country works in this process of incorporating migrants to the labor market. I mean, if this data continue stable and we don't see any difference, we can suppose that it is in Basque Country in the labor market a problem of discrimination, labor discrimination. This discrimination, I think, that exists, but it's not really big, because we can see how those people that stay more years in Basque Country, in the end they get a job. Now we don't say if it is good job, bad job, well paid, not well paid. This is different. But I think this is important. Okay. Bueno, me decís el tiempo. We ask, now I'm going to present some data about the survey that made the Basque Immigration Observatory. We call the Barometro every year. And we ask Basque people about what are the perception and the attitudes toward the immigration. This is one question that I liked a lot. We ask, okay, what do you think that is the percentage of immigration in Basque Country? The people think that in 2012, the people think that in Basque Country was almost 16% of immigration. The real data is that. So now the perception of the society is that we have much more immigrants than the real they are. But the funny thing is that this perception is stable from 2007. But the reality is that immigration has been growing, but the perception is the same. Here is a quite important role of the subjectivity of the people thinking about this issue, no? But immigration is not a problem. Immigration as a problem, when we ask this question, also is made in the Spanish barometer. And when you ask to the people, okay, what do you think that they are the main 3 problems of Basque society? And you don't, it's like you don't establish some questions. Only for the 11% of the people, immigration is a problem. But later we will see that it's not a problem, but it is a problem. But we will see later. When you ask, if you say, okay, what do you think that are the main problems, but you give a list of problems, okay, they say, oh yes, immigration here. No. So the people think yes, the 17% think that immigration is a problem. But when you ask if immigration is a personal problem for you, only for the 6.2% immigration is a problem. So that shows that the people doesn't think that this is a problem. And also, I think in Basque Country, immigration is not already in the main part of the political agenda also. It's changing. We don't speak, we speak about the crisis, and we use the immigration to speak about the crisis, but we don't speak about the immigration. This is really different issue. How the Basque society look to the immigration? As I told you in the beginning, I think that we had a kind of naive in the beginning, in 2007 or 2004, we had a kind of naive, ingenuous opinion about the immigration. And many of the people look to the immigration as a functional and economic phenomenon. Okay. We need people to work, the economy was growing, so we need people, immigrants, to come to work. And then many people after that say, okay, now there is not work, so they have to go back to their origin countries. No? This is a little bit the reflection of the people. And here when you ask, do you think that we need immigrants to work in some sectors of our economy? In 2004, yes. 80% say yes. 2007, 72% say yes. But nowadays, 2012, 41% say no. Okay, so this is real. We see how the economic dysfunctionality of immigration. The people, the Basque society already say, okay, nowadays it's not functional. Nowadays it's not functional. Do you think that immigration is a problem to get a job? I mean, immigration as a competence in the labor market. In 2008, for the 62% of Basque people, immigration was not a problem to get a job. But nowadays, it changed a lot. So there is this perception that, okay, now immigration could be like a competence, the immigrant could be a problem for me to get a job in a moment where the jobs are going down. And another question is the perception toward the relationship between nationals and foreigners. This is that has improved. They are the same. There are worse, and I don't know the people that doesn't respond. Here we see how the percentage of the people that think that the situation is worse is increasing. From in 2007 to 2008, only 14% of the people think that the relationship was worse, but nowadays 31%. So I think it's, all the indicators are going worse, no? And living together and the way and our way of life. I think those are some data about, okay, diversity, no? And when we ask, do you think that foreigners and other ethnic groups, they enrich the cultural life of Basque Country? Almost 30% say no. And we will see later, I think, no, I don't have the evolution, but this data has been growing in the last years. So the people think, okay, immigration was good, but nowadays it's not only about the competence in the labor market. It's not only about welfare state and social benefits. I think nowadays, in the Basque society, has been a change. And now we start speaking about identity and cultural and religious issues also. And the debate starts growing in Basque Country. And when we think, but if we ask if the practice of religion of the other ethnic communities goes or it's no against no, but to that the question of way of life, still the people think that 48% that no, the other religions is not a problem for our way of life. But in the same time, already we have we start having a debates about the mosques. For example, Bilbao. Yesterday, they approved a law about don't put the mosques in buildings of where their dwellings. Or we have a debate also in Vitoria-Gasteiz. So,
Building new mosques, opening new mosques, or new worship places.
I mean,
Not only mosques.
but it's not only mosques, but they go. I mean, this issue is already in the political agenda. So this is also in the political debate. And what is the idea of Basque people about multiculturalism, interculturalism? If you ask to the people, we see how the people have in Basque Country the idea of assimilation. Okay, the immigrants are this cosmopolitan way of life is good. We think that it's good that different ethnic groups are between us, but they have to change to come to our culture. No, we don't have to change to go to their culture. And immigration and welfare state and rights, I think this is one of the main questions nowadays. And here has been a change. In the here is health service. Okay. The health service, education, a right to law assistance, social benefits, reagrupation to bring your family to here. Yeah. The elections vote, right, and social housing. So when you ask who has to have the right for those social benefits or part of the welfare state, all the people or all the immigrants, only those immigrants that are like legal situation, or nobody, no. And here we can see how health in the big. Later we will see how those have changed, but until now, the health service and the education has been seen by the Basque society like an universal rights. All the people have the right, and still is the main attitude. All the people have the right for the health assistance and also for the education. But if we go to the others, the people think that mainly those immigrants that are like in a legal situation. But if we see the evolution, the health service, we see how this has changed. And I think this is important because now the health service is in a really hard public and political debate, not in only Basque Country, but in the state, with all of the reforms and all the cuttings that are coming from the state. And looks that like this debate has the part of the people now start thinking that not all the immigrants, but that health services has not to be universal, only for those that are irregular. And I think here could be a kind of the crisis situation, but also some, I don't know, but a kind of ideologic change in the society. Could be. Because also happened in the education. Happened the same. Education was like a universal, and now, no, only for those that are in a regular way living with us. And in relation of immigration, ¿cómo va de tiempo? Bien. Bien. About the immigration policy, when we ask, what do you think the government has to do with the people, immigrant people that are like illegal? undocumented, sorry, undocumented. Here we see how the people that think that we have to give documents to all of them is 17%. Those that think, okay, we have to give document to those that have work, a contract of work, but this part has grown a lot. I mean, those that are the strongest or worst perception or attitude, no? For 11% said, okay, we have to give the way to go to the origin country. For the 21%, we have to expulse them, and 9% they don't ask. But see how the big change of the opinion of the people of this part comparing to that. So if we see all the indicators, we see how the tolerance of Basque people toward immigration with the crisis is going down, and we calculate and we create an index of tolerance about immigration with using different variables of the survey, and we see how nowadays this index is 53 points. The scale is from 0 to 100. And if we compare the evolution with the evolution of the economy, in a way we can see like a relationship. We can see how the crisis starts in 2008, the tolerance was going down 2009, 2010, but if you remember, we thought that in 2011 the crisis will be over. All the politicians say, no, don't worry, 2011, and was like a kind of optimistic idea of and it was a small growth of the economy, and in the same time, the tolerance toward immigration was a bit better. But then reality comes, the economy goes down, and we see how the index of tolerance goes down. So I think there is a relationship, a quite big relationship between attitude that have Basque people toward immigration and the situation of the economy. And here we calculate also, using this index of tolerance, what the percentage of the people thinking, we classify them if they are tolerant, if they don't like the immigration, or if they are if they are ambivalent, if they are in between. And what is the situation nowadays in Basque Country? The almost 40% are tolerant, the 40% are in the middle, but the 20% they don't like the immigration. And this is a problem because this percentage of people has been growing. So this is the panorama that we have here. So if I synthesize a little bit the data, we can see how now we are in a moment of change. We are in a moment that immigration is going down a little bit. It's not growing. For me, is established. I mean, it's not growing. It's not going down because those data that has going down, they are not really big. They are not really big. It is more is related to the economic situation. But we see how the nationalities that are coming are those nationalities that are more different to our culture, our religion, and our language. Those that are more complicated, to incorporate in our labor market, and also those that are more complicated to manage in this management of the diversity, of the ethnic diversity. And also we see, this is the migration context, but also the perception context of the people is that the people has worse perception. So the context to work about the diversity is more complicated and more worse. So it's not really positive conclusion, but I think this is the situation. So how demands of the migrant diversity? I do a question: how to manage diversity policy in a crisis context? I think is right now the question in the Basque Country, but also in Spain. I think the people has to understand that diversity is a structural social reality. It's not a functional demographic phenomenon. The Basque society, Spanish society is diverse, is more diverse, and it will continue being diverse, and in the future will be more diverse. Because the ethnic groups or the immigrants collective that are arriving are more diverse than us. So I think this is a starting point. Don't speak about immigration, speak about diversity, and speak about diversity as a structural social reality. And also because, as I told you, this diversity goes further than economic functional phenomenon. We don't have to think that, okay, if the economy grows, immigration grows, and if the economy goes down, immigration goes down. I think, no, is something more complicated, as we have seen in other countries, in Europe, for example, or other countries of the world. No? And I think we need a policy change. We need a policy change because we need to face new challenges, and also we have to start thinking what are the potentials of the diversity. We need to search and manage the diversity benefits, but I think there are a lot of diversity benefits, and also from the economical point of view, also for the labor market, and also because diversity goes further than like a social issue. We are thinking immigration, marginality, segregation, and this kind of social, like a social issue. No, immigration and diversity is more than a social issue. It's an identity issue, it's an economic issue, it's a policy issue, and also it's a social issue. So I think there are some reflections about how we have to face this. In relation of the social cohesion, we have, I think, two challenges. One is the labor market. We have seen how there are really big differences between unemployment rates in relation to the origin of the immigrants. So probably something is working different in the labor market in relation to the immigration. I mean, we don't have to think about to do the same labor policy with all the immigrant collectives. Why? Because it's not the same the labor market policy to the Latin American collective, because they have, in a way, they have a place in our labor market to work, but what we have to do with people from Africa, what we have to do for people from Maghreb or people from Sub-Saharan. I think those are the main challenges, because those are also the migrants group that they are arriving. And they are arriving, most of them, mainly from Maghreb with families. Also, we have the problem of social benefits and welfare state. This in a context of social cuts, the focus in immigrants, the change in the regulatory system to put more obstacles to immigrants to go to the social benefits and welfare state is also a problem. On the other hand, we have the identity and cultural debate. I do a question. Islamophobia is coming to Basque Country? I think it's a question that I do. Here we have the mosques debate, and I think it's a cultural debate that we need to have to see if it's coming or it's not coming or what, because what is happening in Europe and what is happening also in Spain also could happen here. So I think it's something that we have to think about it. Probably the response is that no, or yes, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I make the question. Oh, it wasn't. The identity, I think there is an identity debate, but this goes with the social benefits debate. I mean, no, I don't have problem with immigrants. I don't have problem with cultural difference. The problem is that they go to the school and they got all the scholarships to go for the social benefits. I mean, but in the end, the debate is the identity different. They have the right to these social benefits because they are not from here, they're from other countries. On the other hand, this is a new policy that or work that is going on of I put there like anti-rumores, how to work the rumors of the people toward immigration, and also new immigration policy discourse that are coming from Basque nationalism. And I think this is important. This is important because for the first time in Basque government, this is a nationalistic party that has the responsibility of migration policy. The other year was other parties like Izquierda Unida or Partido Socialista, that they are not nationalistic. And also in other parts of Basque Country, like Gipuzkoa, start other kind of discourses about nationalism and immigration. And I think they are going to this problematic of immigration from the identity point of view. So I think it's something that also in the coming years is going to be in the debate. And for me, to end the presentation, the second generation. I think here is one of the main issues about the future. What is happening in the schools and the segregation, the influence of language models in the segregations and public-private schools, Euskara, the Basque language, the social stratification. We will give to those second-generation migrants Basque childs, no migrants, Basque childs, human capital to grow in social stratification, and what we will manage the new identities that are coming. So, thank you. Sorry a little bit for my English, and it's.